We're here at the Carl Greaves Boxing Academy. We're here with Sam Bowen ahead of his return to the ring on March 23rd. We know what you're doing. You've got a new challenger for your British title, Jordan McCorry. When I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, you didn't know too much about him other than to call him a slick mover. Are you a little bit more in the know now?
I've had a look at a couple of videos. I haven't gone over the top, but no, like I said before, he looks like quite a nimble, awkwardish fighter. Other than that, I ain't really got much more to say. I mean, yeah, he's a Scottish champion. He's obviously a half decent fighter, so no, it's made for a good fight. He's a little bit different to how Ronnie Clark fights, so he's a bit more of a mover and a bit more nimble, so it should be a good fight.
What you will know is it is a British title fight, and anyone that comes in for one, it's like sometimes it's their ultimate goal, so you know you're going to be in for a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you look at it, he ain't really got anything to lose. He hasn't got the British title yet, and like I say, technically in his mentality, if he left the fight without it, he ain't lost anything. So whereas I've got the British title, and my aim's to keep it. So.
A nimble mover, how does that fit in with, say, the ideal opponent suited to your style? What would be your ideal sort of style of opponent?
At the end of the day, you adapt in the fight. I mean, it all comes down to the same thing. I mean, when some fighters will stand toe-to-toe and I'll hurt them early, whereas some like this kid seems to be quite nimble and moves quite well. It might take a few more rounds to track them down and hurt them. But at the end of the day, as long as I do get to them and they can't outrun me for 12 rounds, then I should get to them and should hurt them.
Now, this nimble move you're up against in McCorry would be a bit of a far cry from your last outing at the Leicester or Morningside Arena. Cabral, he was anything but nimble, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a bit awkward at times. It's a bit nuts at times as well with what we were doing. But at the end of the day, everyone fights different, and I have to adapt to that. I have to change things slightly. But as long as the end result is a win and I'm safe and fine, that's the main thing. So.
That fella, the Argentinian, he seemed to actually enjoy you hitting him to the head.
I enjoyed hitting him, so if he enjoyed it, fair play to him, but I enjoyed winning, that's all that matters. So.
But you had to switch to the body to get the job done, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, I caught him with a great body shot, left hook. He weren't getting up, he didn't enjoy that one, did he? So.
Would it be fair to call that left hook to the body slightly unorthodox in its approach?
I don't know, I just threw a left hook to the body and it landed. That's all that matters. However I throw it doesn't matter, as long as it lands in the right area, it's going to drop a main.
You sort of leapt into it though, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, I could have missed the shot and people would have never thought out of it. So like I said, I landed it, it was a good shot. And yeah, like I say, he didn't enjoy that shot, did it? So he weren't getting up for that for a while.
It landed you the WBO Super Featherweight title, the WBO Intercontinental. It's nice, but now you're with Frank, you're actually on two tracks, aren't you? You can carry on along your British title track, but at the same time, you're getting the international experience, which at the same time gets you your ranking. It's nice to go along those sort of twin travels.
Yeah, like I say, it gives me a few different options and maybe a few different openings, depending on what comes up and gets offered to us. But like I say, two belts is better than one, ain't it? So more points means more prizes. So.
I mean, kind of the point I'm trying to make is, but were you just British champion, it doesn't automatically get you that ranking, so when you're done with the British, then you've got to build your way up the international ladder. At the moment, you're doing both. So, I mean, when you're done with the British, you can literally jump straight into world level.
Yeah, like I say, it's with the WBA, it pushes, like I say, I'm ranked number 10 with them now. I suppose if I hadn't have won that Intercontinental, my ranking wouldn't have been 10, so yeah. Like I say, with that, my rankings going up with it down one path, and then my rankings going up a different way with the British title. But like I say, what comes next, I don't know. Obviously, just keep winning and then see what happens, see what I get offered. But with winning the WBO, you never know, you might get offered a decent fight for a high-ranking fight.
You've been quite clear in sort of recent dispatches, but after this fight, you're quite eager to move, so to step it up, probably start targeting world level. Is that definitely the case?
Oh, I would, yeah. It's out of my hands though. Like I say, I can only fight who's put in front of me. So whatever we get offered, I'll take, and then we'll train for it and go that way. But it is, like I say, it's not. I don't control that, and it is out of my hands. I don't control when I fight or who I fight. I just have I have to just put my faith into who sorts that out and they can pull these fights off.
You say that, but you've actually sort of, on occasions when certain names have been thrown at you, you've kind of said, I've gone beyond that. That would be kind of a step backwards, sort of Lyon Woodstock being a case in point. Is that a fight that would interest you still, or is it the case but he's actually turned down an opportunity to step in on this card?
Well, he got offered it to fight me, to defend my British when Ronnie Clark pulled out. But if you think about it, to be fair, it would have been ideal to fight me because obviously we were worried about not getting an opponent, so it would have been great for him to fill in, but he didn't take it then. But I don't understand where would it get me fighting him. Like I say, you say about me ranking getting pushed up, he's not even ranked as high as me, so if I fight someone that's ranked higher than me and I beat him, my ranking's going up. If I fight someone that's, if I beat him, it's just a name and he's ranked below me. It's just like I could fight 10 other people the same as him, it ain't going to get me anywhere. I might as well fight someone that's better than him, better ranking, and then it will get me further up the rankings.
Were you surprised or disappointed but he didn't step in to sort of save the last show, if you like?
Wasn't bothered. It didn't surprise me in the slightest. I was just worried that obviously we weren't going to get a fight. Obviously that show never happened anyway, but so the worst did happen. But I was just worried before we knew the fight was getting postponed that I was even going to get an opponent. So it'd have been ideal. I'd have said cheers, mate, if it had took it, because I'd have been fighting, because that's the aim. I need to be fighting. If I'm not fighting, it's pointless to be boxing. So, like I say, is an opponent. If we were going to fill in, happy days. Is just an opponent. It's from Leicester. That is all it is. He's just a lad from Leicester. That's it. There's a professional boxer at my weight. There's no more to say on it.
Talking of professional boxers at your weight, and obviously taking into account natural reluctance to look beyond next opponent, so on and so forth, a couple of names to sort of throw at you and to assess your interest in potential fights against them. Scott Quigg seems to be operating at your weight now. Now, on the face of it, thinking about it, that sort of on paper and possibly in reality as well, looks like a blooming good fight.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of lads in Britain that are great fighters at my weight. It's just getting the fights pulled off. There's not just because I'm British champion doesn't mean that there isn't anyone out there that's worthy to fight me. Like I said, there's lots and lots of top lads. I mean, you got Zelfa, you got Ronnie Clark. All these fighters are still they'll be tough, hard fights. It's just getting these fights pulled off. And if they want it themselves, you know what I mean. But no, there's a lot of fighters out there still that would be great, tough, hard fights. I'm not denying that.
Quigg, someone that would interest you?
Yeah, like I say, I'm not bothered if the opponents don't bother me who they are. Obviously, I'm at a level now where they're going to be at a certain level. I'm not going to be fighting people that are just going to fold in 1 round, 2 rounds. They're going to be tough, hard fights, and that's what I expect. You don't fight at British level, and above that, fighting bums.
Before you move onwards and upwards, there's a fight with Archie Sharp, probably a fight that would generate some interest. I mean, he holds the WBO European, you've got the Intercontinental. He had a big performance against Lyon. You had a great showing last time out. Has that got the makings of a good fight for you?
Yeah, as we just said, there's a lot of good fighters out there, including him. He's a very good boxer, and he proved that against Woodstock. Made him look a bit silly. But yeah, and like I said, there's more than one, there's more than 2. There's a lot of fighters out there that are really, really good boxers, and he's one of them. And I'm in that mix with them. So I've obviously got the British, but they've obviously got the belts as well. So there's a lot of good fighters out there.
What's your take on the situation at world level at the moment? Because that's obviously where you're looking to get. I mean, just off the top of my head, I mean, you've got Ito, Berchelt, Gervonta Davis, and Tevin Farmer. I mean, do you watch that? Are you watching their fights at the moment?
I watched a couple of them. I haven't watched all of them. the world level for a reason. I mean, I'm at the level I'm at now. We've got to get out of this level. But like I say, there's no point in really looking too much into them until we're out of this sort of level. I mean, I've got to have a few British title fights first and then defend the WBO. If they was to offer me a fight, then you'd have to consider it, obviously. Make it worth your while. You'd obviously get paid well.
Which one of the world champions have you looked at?
Gervonta Davis. Yeah. He's obviously class, and if you was going to fight him, it'd have to be worth your while. Like I say, the level from me fighting Jordan McCorry to fighting him, there's no comparison. You know what I mean? So let's concentrate on Jordan McCorry first, and then we'll worry about them another day.
You missed out on a December fight, and it was obviously through something that happened in this gym, a rib tickler from David Avanasian. I mean, that must have been a painful little experience.
Yeah, I mean, I sparred him, I think it was round 4. It didn't move. It weren't even a big body shot. It was a straight right. Didn't win me. It just felt like I'd been stabbed. And I said to Carl at the end of the round, I says, feels like I've got internal bleeding. I says, it don't feel right. Carried on. And then I got it there again, and the pain was just horrendous, but not winded. So I did the 8 rounds sparring, and just literally I couldn't move after. Struggled to drive home. Was in agony. It was bizarre, and couldn't do anything. I think it was more muscle than the actual rib itself, because I remember about 2 weeks later, I've got like a dip bar at home where you can raise your abs, and I thought I'd try and stretch my legs out on it, and literally as soon as I lifted my legs, it felt like again I'd been stabbed. So that just tells me like the muscle, it was a muscle. And then obviously I had about a month off and slowly started getting back into it. But yeah, that was obviously upsetting that couldn't fight then. And like I say, but it's unpredictable. You never know when you could get injured or you could get cut. It's a bit of a risky sport, ain't it? Like I say, I ain't never been hurt, had an injury as such to the body. So like I say, it's unfortunate.
Have you avoided having SEN this time around?
Yeah, I don't think we'll spar him just for this fight. Let's get a fight out of the way first. I don't want to be out for a year.
Of course, you now have got the knowledge, but was it the NHS or the private hospitals won't help you out with rib injuries, will they?
No, they said they weren't, because obviously we didn't know what they wanted to rule it out. So if I'd have had an X-ray, it would have said if it was a cracked rib or if it was muscle. And I went to the hospital, and they just said they won't X-ray a suspected cracked rib. So I booked in privately, and then they rang me about 2 days before. And they said no, same rules as NHS, won't book you in for a suspected cracked rib, so unless you're struggling to breathe and stuff. So
there's been quite a lot made of your professional work-life balance situation at the moment. Obviously, you work during the day at Caterpillar. Is it you work a 4.5 day week, four long shifts?
Yeah, 4 long shifts and then half day on a Friday. So great life.
I know you've explained it probably numerous times, but what is your sort of daily routine, if you like, on a normal working day?
I get up in the morning about 4:45 to do my run. Get in, have food, shower, leave work at 6:15, get to work for start at 6:45, I get about 20 to 7. Leave at 4:15, travel here, about an hour and 15 minutes, and train for an hour and a half, hour and 45. Then travel home, get home about 8:30, 8:45.
Needs addressing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty shit.
Mrs. Bowen and little Bowen must struggle to see a bit of you along when you're doing all that.
Yeah, it's obviously difficult for them. She understands. I think she enjoys the peace at times. Like I say, I was off for a bit in January and February for the February fight. I think it pissed her off more, right? But no, like I say, she's supportive. Gets my food and stuff ready. Because obviously I'm run out of time otherwise if I've got to prep my own food and stuff, and she looks after the little one. So, but no, something's got to change. But like I say, I keep saying it, but I don't know.
Well, I suppose the grand plan is after this fight, see what's on the horizon, and then make that decision one way or the other, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to obviously get a couple of fights out of the way, and just like I say, it's all about money, ain't it? So obviously I've got a nice big house and stuff that I've got paid for, and if you're not fighting regularly, you can't. Who's paying my bills? So we'll see.
Last one, you did tell me a little while ago, but your youthful appearance, you got proof of it by someone who knocked on the door for Virgin Media. Can you tell the story?
Yeah, basically, like I say, I've got our house. We've got a brand new house. It's like I say, I look a bit out of place to be fair. 'Cause I know I don't look that old, but yeah, Virgin knocked on the door and they said, "Is your parents?" And I played along. I just said no, they're at work. But they were like, when they're going to be back at us in a bit. I thought it's cheeky, innit? I thought, what makes you think I can't afford an house like this? So.
Did you get asked for ID?
Nah, I don't buy alcohol, do I? Unless I'm not training for a fight, but I'd do it if I was to buy alcohol, yeah.
And you are 27?
In April 27, yeah.
I suppose it will work for you in the long run, won't it?
Yeah, well, my brother, he's only 24 and he looks a lot older than me, and he's bigger than me. I think all the dieting and stuff when I was a kid, it stunted my growth. I reckon I'd be a unit if I didn't box.
Nice thought. Sam Bowen, wish you all the best and good luck on the 23rd.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, mate.